Good morning, Veena ma'am here. Today we are going to start this first chapter of Partnership Fundamentals, Book 1. It is the fundamentals is all about how you are going to start with the partnership, how the accounting will be done in partnership. But before doing partnership, let us go back to 11th standard. In 11th standard, we have done this chapter in business studies, that is forms of organization. Forms of organization. Do you all remember this chapter? In forms of organization, you have this sole proprietorship. Now, who is a sole proprietorship? Sole proprietorship is a person who runs his firm, his or her, like alone. There is no partner over here. He is the only whole and soul who takes care of the business. So whatever the profit is there will be taken by the sole proprietor. Any loss will be borne by the sole proprietor. Any risk will be taken by the sole proprietor. But if suppose the sole proprietor's business is making profits, it is making profits. Slowly it is expanding. Now he has a business in Mumbai. Now he wants to put a branch, or he wants to start a unit in Pune. So now he will think, okay, if I have to start a branch in Pune, then I will need a manager. Manager ka kya hai? Today if he is there, maybe tomorrow if he gets more salary, he will leave it and go. Right? So he thinks it is better than that I have a partner who is equally responsible for the unit, for the branch. So this is how the need arises for a partner. There are various needs why you will require a partner in the firm. One is, as I explained to you, if the business is expanding, you want a trusted person who can take care of this business, so you get a partner. Second, you are in need of money. You have invested, but still you require money. Instead of going for a loan, additional loan maybe, so you take one more person as a partner who can bring in capital in the firm. Or maybe, see, if I am a sole proprietor, I cannot have all the knowledge, technical knowledge maybe, or marketing knowledge, accounting knowledge. Everything is not possible to be handled by only one person. Editing knowledge, all these are, you require specialists for it. Maybe I am good at a certain thing, but I may not be good at the other things. So for that, again I will require a partner. If I am good at marketing, the other person will be good at accounting, or the other person will be good at handling software. So I will require that person as a partner. Or there are certain firms who require a partner only for the name's sake, only for the name's sake. This person is very famous. People know him. So it is better that if I take that person as a partner, then people will come to know, oh, he is my partner. So they will probably they will give business to me. So this is only when you take the only name of the person and he becomes a partner. So there are many ways, the reasons why you need a partner in the firm that we have seen. And we have seen the financial statement when you prepare for sole proprietor. This year we are going to learn how to make financial statement, that is a balance sheet and a profit and loss for partnership. It is more or less the same but little different. Okay. First, very important part, let me tell you, you need to learn the sections and the act. You never know, it might come for MCQs. So this is section 4, which says, as per Indian Partnership Act 1932, this is the definition. You need to learn this definition. Definition is meant to be learned. You cannot write it in your own course. What does this definition say? Partnership is a relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all, or any of them acting for all. I will break this definition and I will explain it to you. This definition is also, if you see later on, it is also the characteristics. What do you mean by characteristics? Features. It is also the characteristics or the features of the partnership. It will be the same. Okay? We will just break the definition and we will see. Partnership is a relation between two persons. Yes, there should be a relation. I and my friend, or I and my sister, we are sitting and we just come up with an idea. Why not start a firm, right? So maybe like we want to start a restaurant. Why not start a restaurant jointly? Let's start this. So I and my sister, we agree with this. Now this is a relation. It is not a sister relation. We are talking about being related as a partner in the business. So there should be a relation between the two persons. What is that relation? Obviously, you are in a relation as a partner of the firm. Got it? Partnership is a relation between persons. It can be two or more person. When I say partner, obviously minimum should be two. Maximum we will see later. Who have agreed to share the profits. I and my sister, we said, okay, let's start this business. Suppose if we make profits, then what will happen? How much will you get the profit and how much will I get the profit? If I am investing more, I am investing 10 lakhs. My sister is investing 12 lakhs. Accordingly, how much will be the ratio? Or I invested only 10 lakhs, but my efforts are more. She invested 12 lakhs, but her efforts are accordingly less. So now also again we have to think that how much will be the share of profit. When I say share of profit, do we mean only profit? No, it is also losses. We also take into consideration the losses. Okay? Of a business carried, of a business, there should be a business. There should be a business. We are not going to carry any service, more or less social service. We are not going to do. We are not going to start any NGO. It is a proper firm, and it is only meant to make profits. That is why it is a business. It is not NGO. It is a business, and our aim is only to make profits. So there should be a business for that. Which kind of business? Legal type of business. There should be a legal business carried on by all. If there are 5 partners, we all are taking care of the business. That is carried on by all. Or any one of them acting for all. 5 are there, but only one is taking active part in that. Other 4 have just invested and kept quiet. You do the work, we will sit and see. We have given you money, you do the work. Or maybe they have given their name. Instead of investment, they have given their name. So, only one person is acting for all. So when one person is acting for all, there is also one term, principal and agent. If I bring business for the firm, I become an agent and my partners become the principal. If they bring business, then they become an agent and I become the principal. So this is the relation between partners. It is a relation of principal and agent. Do remember this word. Many a times it had come as for MCQ. Okay? This is how a definition is, and I have broken that into parts. Next, coming to individually, what do we call them? Individually, we call them as partners. But collectively, when they come together, we call them as firm. It is known as firm, not a company. It is a firm. Partnership is a firm. Coming to nature of partnership. Now, this is also very important. What does the nature of partnership say? There are 2 points, legal point of view and accounting point of view. ध्यान से थोड़ा सुनो. नेचर ऑफ पार्टनरशिप में 2 टाइप के हैं. एक है लीगल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू और दूसरा है अकाउंटिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. लीगल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सेज दैट पार्टनरशिप, ओके, what it says, according to legal point of view, partners are, what does the legal point of view says? Do you know the meaning of legal point of view and accounting point of view? Legal point of view is when any loss incur, when you have any loss or there is any debt on you, heavy debt on you, then the partners are not to be treated separately. They are not separate. If there are losses, they are not, partners are not separate from the firm. Why? Because if there are losses, if the firm is not able to bear the loss, then the partners' personal things will also be attached. Yes, लेकर आओ अपने घर से सारे, घर बेच दो, sell your jewelries, whatever your personal assets are there, that will be used to pay off the liabilities, to pay off the debts. That is legal point of view. But when I talk about accounting point of view says that both are separate. We know it is a business entity. What does a business entity say? That we do accounting for whom? For the firm, not for the owners. Right? This we have seen in 11th standard. As per business entity, accounting is done for the firm, not for the business. So when we do accounting point of view, it is different. Partners are different and the firm is different. So this part, whatever we have done is learn the section. Remember this for today. one day if you go on doing it, keep on doing it, it will be very easy for you. This is section 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932. Learn the definition properly. We will break this, we will see what are the characteristics. They play the role of principal and agent. The partners are what? Principal and agent for each other. Collectively they are called firm, and individually they are called partners, collectively they are called firm. When we come to nature of partnership, legal point of view, they are separate. They are not separate, right? They are not separate. But accounting point of view, they are separate. Next, coming to the nature, the characteristics, features of partnership. I have told you, all these points, whatever you see, it is the same like what we have done in the definition. We had broken the definitions. The same points are there, but let's discuss this in more detail. There is there on the image also. If you have book or you just see the image that is there, each point we will discuss in detail. Remember, concept is very important. Next, features. First is 2 or more persons. That is what is there. Okay, even I have this Grewal book. It is there on the screen also. This 2 or more persons. When we say 2 or more persons, obviously partnership, it starts with 2 persons. Now, how many persons are allowed so that you can to make a partner? First thing is, whom will you allow to be a partner? Let's discuss this. किसको तुम लोग पार्टनर बना सकते हो? किसी को भी बना सकते हैं? नहीं. तो whom किसको बनाना है? First is minor. Are minors allowed to be a partner? No. Minors cannot be a partner. This is what it says. But again there is a clarification. Minors can be partners if all the partners agree. If there are 30 partners, if all the 30 partners say, okay, we can take this minor as a partner, you can take the minor as a partner. But remember, a minor will get only profits. The minor will not share any losses. Yes, you can take a partner, you can take a minor as a partner, provided all the partners agree. But he or she will get only the profits in the business, will not bear the losses. This is first thing. So minor can be admitted. Second is, any person of unsound mind. What do you mean by unsound mind? Person who is not capable of thinking. जिसके दिमागी हालत ठीक नहीं है. Right? The person who is not capable of thinking cannot take the decision. How will the person take care of the business? Take care of the firm? So unsound mind person is not taken into the firm. Then is disqualified by the law. जिसको लॉ ने ही डिस्क्वालीफाई किया है उसको हम लोग फॉर्म में कैसे लेंगे? Which means maybe he has committed, maybe what? Disqualified by the law is definitely he has committed some crime, that is why the law has disqualified. Maybe he was involved in theft, any crime, financial crime, any type of crime is involved. So if the law has disqualified, you cannot take the person as a partner in your firm. Got it? So these are the 3 things, these are the 3 people who cannot be taken into the firm. Only exceptional is minor. Second one is maximum number of partners. So now, how many partners can you take? This is very important. Underline this section if possible. There is one which says, this is section 464. Section 464 of Companies Act. Of Companies Act. Okay? 2013. Of Companies Act 2013 has prescribed the number of partners to the central government. Companies Act ने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को प्रिस्क्राइब किया है कि 100 पार्टनर्स हो सकते हैं. किसको प्रिस्क्राइब किया है? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. सो द कंपनीज Act has prescribed the central government that there can be 100 partners. But what central government did? Okay, we have got the right to choose how many partners there can be. 100 is the permission that is given. But we are going to tell the Partnership Act that you will be having only 50%. So, the Partnership Act, The Partnership Act does not prescribe the maximum number of partners. The Companies Act prescribes it to the central government, that there will be only 50. Okay? When the Companies Act prescribes to the central government, it is 100. But when the central government has prescribed to the Partnership Act, it is only 50. So when this question comes, it is maximum number of persons who can be admitted in the firm is only 50. But remember this section as per Companies Act, section 464. Got it? Next one is agreement. Obviously, if there is any partnership, there should be an agreement. Without agreement, you cannot start the deal. What kind of agreement will be this? That whether this business, should we keep it fixed for only 5 years, or we will wait for the profits, we will carry it on and on. So whatever kind of agreement is there between the partners, it should be there. Now agreement, when I say agreement, now there are two types of agreement. One agreement is oral agreement and the other agreement is written agreement. Oral agreement is when the two partners, three partners, they just discuss the matters. It is nothing in written. तुमको इतना पोर्शन मिलेगा, मुझे इतना पोर्शन मिलेगा, तुम इतना कैपिटल डाल रहे हो, मैं इतना कैपिटल डाल रहा हूँ. All this will be only verbally, nothing in written content. But a written agreement is when it is a proper deed. It is known as a deed, partnership deed. When everything is mentioned in the deed, in a written format. All the clauses are written in the format. To see, both are allowed. You can have oral agreement also, you can have written agreement. But this is more advisable. To have written partnership agreement is more advisable. क्यों? क्योंकि कल को कुछ झगड़ा हो गया, conflicts हो गए, disputes हो गए, you have a proof with you that this is what it says. This is in the written form, this is what it says. So you can go to the court with a written agreement. One question was there in MCQ, like I don't remember the year, but it was in CBSE sample paper. They had asked whether agreement, whether oral agreement is legal or no. Many students, they think that okay, oral agreement is not allowed. They might write not allowed. It is not like that. Oral agreement is allowed, very much legal also. But advisable is to have a written agreement. Both are allowed. Got it? Next one is business. Now you have to see what kind of business you are in. You have agreed to start a business. Business तो करना है, पर कौन सा business करना है? होटल का business करना है, या कपड़ों का business करना है, right? What kind of business you want to do? या drug dealing करनी है? This is not allowed. When you say business, it is only legal business. It is not that oh I and my sister we say चलो partnership करते हैं और उधर लूट मार करते हैं, इधर चोरी करके आते हैं. That is not partnership. It should be legal. Human trafficking, drug trafficking, all these are illegal. That cannot be taken as partnership business. Okay? So it should be legal and it should be mentioned what kind of business you are carrying on. Profit sharing, that also has to be mentioned. If there are 4 to 5 partners, irrespective of number of partners, how much will be the share of each partner? If there is a written agreement, then it will be written. If there is no written agreement, then the case will be very different. You have just told verbally. Verbally I told my sister, okay, your portion is 3 part, my portion is 2 part. Verbally I have said, but कल को कुछ हो सकता है, like there might be fight. Like okay, I said 3, but you said 2. There are many conflicts that can arise when there is no written form. So this, whatever the profit sharing is there, it should be mentioned beforehand. And if it is written, you have a good proof that my share is 2 and her share is 3, right? But whatever the agreement is there, whatever your share is there, should always be discussed before. Business can be carried on by all or any of them active for all. I have already told this. One person carrying on the business becomes an agent for the other person. The other partner, if brings the business, becomes an agent for the partners. So this is what we have seen. So all these are the characteristics. Hardly you have only 5 characteristics. Very easy to remember, and most of the time either one of this comes for MCQ. So theory part is really very easy in partnership fundamentals. What you did in the previous this You learn the section, the Partnership Act, the definition. Collectively they are called firm, individually they are called partners. Nature of partnership, legal point of view, accounting point of view. Then what are the characteristics of partnership? Next we will see the rights of a partners. Each and every person, what kind of right they have? They have equal rights. Whether you are very experienced or whether you are new in the business, but rights are always equal for all the partners. Let's see. Coming to rights of a partner. Total there are 8 rights. Let's see what are these rights. Every partner has the same rights, whether the partner is a new partner or whether the partner is the eldest one, but experienced one. But the rules, the rights will be the same for every partner. First is right to participate in the management of business. Just because the partner is new or not experienced doesn't mean that you can keep that partner out. That partner has the right to take the decisions, has the right to manage, right for the management in the business. Suppose if a partner is very irritable, he's very irritating partner. For everything this partner has some problem. For every time he is questioning, every time he is creating problem. So you think that, okay, why to take this partner? Without this partner, we will just go ahead. Marlo, it is Krishnamurti. Okay, why to take Krishnamurti? Let us keep Krishnamurti out. Let us take the decision on who. You cannot do this. Krishnamurti very well has the right to in the management of the business. Okay. Second one is to be consulted about the business matters. Just because Krishnamurti is very irritating, he doesn't talk to you properly, but he is a partner in the business. If you want to take any decision, any business decision you want to take, you have to consult Krishnamurti and then only take the decision. Without the knowledge of any partner, you cannot take the decisions. All the decision matters should be consulted with all the partners. Okay. Next is to inspect the books of accounts. Keep a copy of it. Krishnamurti ने बोला, तुम्हारी अकाउंट्स की बुक मैं रोज आई एम सीए. कृष्णमूर्ति सेड, मैं तो सीए हूँ, मुझे बुक्स दिखाओ. लेट मी सी द अकाउंटिंग बुक्स. सो द अकाउंटेंट गोज एंड शोज द बुक्स. Krishnamurti is very angry. Okay, this is how refreshment upon refreshment. So much of money you all are spending on refreshment. And what is the need of all this fancy lighting? Can't we go for a basic lighting? This is all the questions arised by Krishnamurti. He says all the lights are on. Why is it on? Why the fans are on? He has the right to question on this. He has the right because he's a partner. And so he says that, see, look at the books of the accounts. So much of expenses are there. We need to cut down the expenses. He has the right to talk about the accounts. He has the right to inspect the books of accounts and also keep a copy of it. Every partner in the business has the right to check the accounts. Next is to share profits and losses agreed in the ratio. If you have agreed on certain ratio, then the profits or the losses will be in that ratio only. If there is no agreement, then remember it will be equally. If there is no agreement, the profits will be given equally. If partner has advanced loan, interest at the rate of 6%, if no agreement or as agreed upon. If a partner, now there is one partner, what to take? Okay, Mahima. Mahima is also a partner. Mahima has given other than her capital, she has given a loan to the firm. Now when she gives a loan to the firm and there is no agreement, don't have any written agreement, then it is mandatory that you give 6% per annum as interest on loan to Mahima. And if there is an agreement, then whatever you have agreed upon, whether it is 10%, 12%, 40%, whatever you have agreed upon, if there is an agreement, you go according to that. Got it? Next one is to take decisions in the interest of the business. If you think a certain decision is not in favor of the business, then you have every right to stop the person from going into this deal. Man, okay? Mahima has done a deal with one XYZ company. Krishnamurti knows very well this XYZ company is not a good company. They don't make the payments on time. He is an experienced person. Krishnamurti is an experienced person. He tells Mahima, let's not go with this company, XYZ company. It is not a good company. They are very, the payments, we get very late payments. We don't get it on time. Mahima says, but I have a friend in XYZ company and I know the company is doing very well. But if Krishnamurti as a partner has some doubt about the company, if he says, no, we cannot make a deal with that company, you cannot make a deal. Okay, so to take the decision in the interest of the business, obviously Krishnamurti is taking interest in the is taking the decision in the interest of the business. He doesn't have any personal motive over here. Okay, to not allow admission of a new partner. Now again we'll come to Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti's friend Balamurti wants to come into the business. Okay, he is also a knowledgeable person. He wants to come into the business, but now there is some other partner, Rohit. Rohit says, no, that is enough. We 5 partners are enough. We don't want any partners more. If one partner disagrees for a new partner to be admitted, new person to be admitted, no, you cannot admit a new person unless there is an agreement, and there are some clauses under that agreement that we will see later. Okay, under partnership agreement. So you cannot allow the admission of a new partner. Only when all the partners agree, you can take the person as a new partner. Next one is, after giving notice, right to retire of a partner. Okay, you cannot come on your own because you need an permission of all the partners. You cannot admit a new partner. You need permission of all the partners. But while going, if you want to retire, can that be your wish and will to retire on your own terms? It can be. You can retire whenever you want, but after giving notice. Today I come to the office and tomorrow I say, from tomorrow I am not going to come to the office. I am retiring. You can't do this because behind you there are so many responsibilities. You need to complete that responsibilities. You need to finish that notice period and then you can take the retirement. So these are the 8 rights that we have. How many rights? We have 8 rights. Very important one. Go through this. Yes. Next is partnership deed. What is there in a partnership deed? Okay. I said partners can have oral agreement or written agreement. If there is a written agreement, that whatever the written format is there, that is known as, it is a document. It is a legal document which is called as partnership deed. Okay. Sorry, I have written over here. It is partnership deed. Agreement can be either oral or written. When there is written agreement, you prepare a partnership deed. Now, what are the contents under the partnership deed? What is there that you have to mention in the deed? Clauses that has to be mentioned. 5 partners are there. Obviously, the name of the partners. Krishnamurti hai. Who is that? Mahima is there. Balamurti is there. 3-4 partners, whatever, 4-5 partners are there. Sabka naam hoga. So the name of the partners will be there. Description of the partners is what? The name of their partners with the details about them. All the details will be there in the Aadhaar card. Now all the Aadhaar card and all these proof documents are very important, which will be attached with the documents, with the partnership deed. So the name of the partner, the age, whatever the gender is there, the address of the partner, all the details about the partner will be mentioned in that. Okay. Then the description of the firm. What kind of a business is this? If you are starting a business, all 5 partners are starting the business. What kind of a business is this? What is the name of the business? Okay. Then what is the address of the business? Where is the registered office of the business? All the description of the firm will be there. Place of the business, that is the registered office of the business. If it is in Mumbai, this is in Mumbai. So whatever the address is there of Mumbai, that will be taken as registered office. Even if you have 5 to 10 branches across the states, still the registered office should be mentioned over here. Nature of the business, what kind of business are you carrying? Is this a manufacturing business? Is this a educational institute? Is it a restaurant? What kind of business are you carrying out in a partnership? Commencement of the business. When did you start the business? Okay. So when are you going to start the business? The date has to be specified. Next is capital contribution. Name of the partners is given. Then each partner, how much capital they have contributed. This is again a proof. Tomorrow if there is any conflict, dispute. So this is a proof that yes, Krishnamurthy has invested 10 lakhs. Mahima has invested 8 lakhs and so on. So it is a proof that how much you have invested in that. Capital contribution will be given. Interest on capital, interest on drawings. Now, this also, interest on capital, you can see over here, okay? Interest on capital. How much is the interest if at all you want to give? Mahima says, I am contributing 8 lakh, I want interest on that. If that is so, you have to mention how much interest will be given. Whatever is given in the deed, you have to go with that. Suppose it says that you have to give 10% interest, go with this. You have to stick with 10% because it is there in the deed. Now what is interest on drawings? If a partner, any partner withdraws money, the person is taking out money from the business. So now the partner has to pay interest to the firm. So how much will be the interest? This will also be mentioned. How much interest? Maybe 8% per annum. So accordingly it will be mentioned and we have to go according to this deed. If there is no deed, we will see. Profit sharing ratio. This is very important. What will be the ratio of profit shared among the partners? 5-3-2, 3-2-1, 5-6-5-4-3. Whatever the ratio is there, ratio is like that. If there are 5 partners, whether it is 5, 4, 2 and 1 and 1. Whether this is the ratio, whatever the ratio is there will be mentioned. Interest on loan. If a partner has given loan, we have discussed this before also. If any partner gives a loan other than capital, gives a loan to the firm, then this interest has to be given. If it is mentioned in the deed that 9% per annum is the interest, stick with this. Give 9%. If it is not mentioned in the deed, then 6% per annum. Per annum 6% is mandatory. But interest will be given to the partner who gives a loan. Got it? Remuneration. Remuneration is salary or commission. Anything that is to be given to the partners. Okay? I say, now I am working a lot. Even though my capital is less, but I am working a lot. So I tell my sister, see, I have worked so much. I need a salary. I will take 20,000 salary home. So this salary has to be mentioned. Now my sister says, okay, you are bringing, you are working so much and you are getting salary. I am also bringing business through my contacts. I am getting so much of business for the firm. I need commission. So I will also take commission 10% of whatever the business is there. So whatever the this is there between the partners, agreement is there in the between the partners, has to be mentioned over here. Okay. Valuation of goodwill. Now goodwill is an intangible asset, we all know. We need to value that whenever there are changes happening in the firm. If we are taking new partner or if one partner retires and goes, if we are changing the ratio of the profit, at this time we need to value the goodwill. We'll come to that. It is a whole chapter on goodwill. We will see that later on. We have to also value assets. This all valuation is done only when there is any change. Change in the ratio, new partner comes in, there is a retirement of a partner. In this case only what we do, okay, valuation. Settlement of accounts. How is the settlement of accounts done? If a partner retires, how do you settle the accounts? Accounting period. Now there are 2 accounting periods. One is, which we know very well, that is 1st April to 31st of March. One accounting period is 1st April to 31st March. Some of the companies, firms follow 1st January to 31st December. Okay, so accounting period, what is your accounting period has to be mentioned. Next is rights and duties. Whatever the rights and the duties of the partners are there will be mentioned. Duration of the partnership firm. Whether you want to carry it for, that is partnership at will. Whether you want this partnership only for 5 years, 10 years, what is the number of years you want to carry on the partnership. Okay, coming to this bank, there should be a bank account in the name of the firm. Fine. So whatever the expenses are there, salary is paid, whatever the amount of profit you're taking, all should be through this bank. So the firm's, whatever the name is there, in that name of the firm, there should be a bank account. Fine. Next is death of a partner. Now this is very important. In case of a partner dies, okay, if the partner dies, should we carry on the business or should we dissolve the business? Should we close the business or should we carry on the business? Also should be mentioned in the deed. Settlement of accounts. This I have already said. I think settlement of accounts is already done. So this is it. At the end of this, when if there is any resolution taking place, which means you are closing the firm. When you are closing the firm, what will be the settlement? How will you settle the accounts? How much is to be paid to each partner? Whatever their amount of payment is there, everything will be mentioned in the settlement of accounts. So these are the clauses. This is very easy to remember. There is no need to by heart. Anyway, any of none of the theory part is to be by hearted. Okay, so these are the theory parts. Go through it.